Good morning, everyone. This is Reverend Ray Fukumoto. I guess you all still remember me. I'm pinch hitting for Reverend Corey. Today's service will be the Tsuki Tsuito Hoyo, or the monthly memorial service for those members that have passed. We will have Kansho at the beginning, after which I will read the Hyobyaku. The Hyobyaku-mon is no more than the purpose of the service. The Tsuki Tsuito Hoyo reading of the names right after, and then we'll have the Sutra chanting of the Shoshinge and the Wasan. And with that, I will begin the service with Sambujo. Here today, on this occasion of the 2021 May monthly memorial service, in memory and tribute for all members of the Venice Honganji Buddhist temple who have passed on this month. Respectfully adorn the altar before the Buddha
We'll politely chant the sacred scriptures and express our gratitude towards the boundless provisions of the Buddha's benevolence. In reverence, I speak.
Kansho. 逆進謙虚大表記即応超絶語悪臭一切全幕本部人門地如来偶然願仏根高大小芸者善人名踏んだりけミラ仏本願念部邪見教満悪修上信行十字人に難南中市南昔インド再建地論芸中華自治域市構想現代諸公聖書意妙如来本税要記釈迦如来両河線一周五妙南天寺優柔大自主と性質の在ある無権先絶大乗無情報召喚議事小安な天智南行六六信行異行指導楽九年ミラ仏本願次年即時入一上唯の上昇如来号大偶然音天神菩薩増論説奇妙無下公如来永周から献身実法世王朝大聖願高位本願力栄光移動群上昇一心記入空独大崩壊一逆入大永周修特使連芸造世界即称信用保証人有言の人間人図入所寺音寺用芸音信道羅両天使上皇乱将菩薩来三蔵ルシ十条教凡上宣行気楽法天神菩薩論中芸報道因果天聖願王元猫有他力上上死因唯心人枠前本部新人法承知承知即涅槃必死無料光明道小修小回復系同社結晶道南省有名浄土活入万全自力言言宗円満独語感染症三不三神経論文増末放熱動員一生増悪地偶税思案如外小名化全能独名武将以外上三陽逆悪公明明語権因年廃日本願大地会両者少女混合心狂気一年総合用意大東逆三人即称小市上楽原神公開一大教演技安養官一切先祖終身反戦人法華二道小弁入極重悪人優勝仏が薬剤摂取中煩悩証言水不見大無見上昇が本心言不明仏教連民全幕本部人新宗教諸公編集戦弱本願偶惑税現内生自臨伝芸決起議上位小子即入弱上無意楽一新人の入仏教大自主思法上祭無縁国俗悪同族自主愚道心ゆえか心思こそナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブ
物のこの方は今に実行をへたまえり星の降臨際もなく背の猛妙を照らすなりナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナ知恵の光明はかりなし無量の所相ことごとくこうけうかむらぬものはなしし実妙に奇妙せよ。ナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナ下脱の降臨際もなし高速かむる者は皆無の離ると述べたも平等深く力妙せよ。ナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナ幸運無限予告一切に触りなし光沢かむらぬものぞなき何時義を奇妙せよ。ナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナ少女光明並びなしぐしこのゆえなれば一切のごけもの残りぬ秘境へを奇妙せよ。ナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナ無効せう最大一公園の部と名付けたり三途の国は開くなり大用具を奇妙せよ。願にしくど平等せ一切道法大神往生安楽
Namanda, 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 Namanda. I forgot a part, excuse me. The reason for this service, again, is to memorialize and remember the members that have passed in the month of May. And in tribute to them and in remembrance, I will read off the names of each of the members that have passed, died. Those who have entered the Pure Land and returned to help us all realize the same that they have. Starting with Mr. Saburo Oku, Mr. Edward Toshiyuki, Mrs. Hideo M. Katayama, Mrs. Kikumi Tanabe, Mrs. Chiyoko Nakamura, Mrs. Kei Kazue Masamitsu, Mrs. Yoko Katayama, Mrs. Y. Obata, Mr. Matsuzo Honda, Mr. Ichiro Hamazawa, Mrs. Michie Nishikawa, Mrs. Tamano Waki, Mrs. Yuriko Masuda, Mr. Eiichi Ito, Mrs. Sato Ito, Mrs. Sato Kanda, Ms. Sachie Matsumoto, Mr. Isamu Ishihara, Mrs. Shizue Nishimoto, Mrs. Sachiko Haruki, Mrs. Yaeko Mae Ishioka, Mrs. Mae Kuniko Fukuda, Mrs. Chiyoko Uehara, Mr. Eigoro Sasaguchi, Mr. George Nomura, Mr. Yuzo Yonemitsu, Mr. Hisami Hisa Miyagishima, Mr. Tom Yoshiharu Matsumoto, Mrs. Tono Miyagishima, Mrs. Chiyo Kitayama, Mr. Tadajiro Munetata, Mrs. Tazu Nakada, Mrs. Kazuko Kadomatsu, Mrs. Asa Sumi, Mr. Daemon Kuwahara, Mrs. Chieko Barbara Nakamura, Mrs. Kimiko Inoda, Mr. George Tanida, Mr. Kak Takashi Yoshino, Mrs. Yone Sorita, Mrs. Haruyo Sugino, Mrs. Kiku Mano, Mr. Sunao Tanoue, Jaden Tadao Ito, Tsuyako Morita, Mr. Jam Sakai Kitayama, Mrs. Jun Shintaku, Mr. Hisashi Ozaki, Mr. Torao Fuchigami, Mrs. Dorothy Setsuko Shinmoto, Mr. Masanobu Uehara, Mr. Atsushi Fujioka, Mrs. Ryo Nakamoto, Mr. Robert Kikuo Chimura, Mrs. Tomoe Azushima, Mr. Tatsuji Oku, Mrs. Chika Masada, Reverend Koju Terada, Mr. Ted Tadashi Okino, Mrs. Yasue Yamada, Mr. Randy Yuki Marume, Mrs. Hana Nishihara, Mrs. Tsuruko Mikawa, Mrs. Fumiko Yamamoto, Mrs. Nobuko Sasaki, Mr. Jiro Tsuda, Mr. Yasuo Fuji, Mr. Frank Hirai, Mrs. Kikuno Oriba, Mrs. Tomo Nishihara, Mr. Shigeto Okamoto, Mr. Hakaru Shimaru, Mrs. Miyoko Higashi, Mrs. Elsie Yoshiko Terakami, Mrs. Kaju Fuchikami, Baby Masuda, Mrs. Shizoe Yamashita, Mrs. Jane Minako Shintani, Mrs. Michie Tateishi, Mr. Shigeta Nakamoto, Mr. Joe Yuzuru Yamashita, Mr. Frank Yoshio Kokawa, Mr. Hideyoshi Ohara, Mrs. Etsu Deguchi, Mrs. Emiko Noguchi, Mrs. Michiko Matsumoto, Mrs. Chika Haraki,
Mrs. Hanami Kiyosaki, Mrs. Akiko Tateishi, Ms. Sumako Kawano, Mr. Shoji Kawano, Mr. Masa Miya, Mrs. Aiko Ota, Kusaba, Mr. Kijiro Kuwata, Mrs. Nobue Sasaguchi, Mrs. Takako Murakami, Ms. Wendy Haraki, Mr. Tadayoshi Sumi, Mr. Tsunejiro Oki, Mrs. Masako Kawaguchi, Mr. Toshiteru Tsukimoto, Mrs. Sumiko Ikeda, Mr. Fusakichi Goto, Mr. Tanshiro Tachikawa, Mr. Akimatsu Kuratani, Mrs. Hatsuyo Fujioka, Mrs. Itsue Inokuchi, Mr. Kiemon Kuwata, Mrs. Kikumi Inoue, Mrs. Shizue Yamada, Mr. Eiji Fujinaka, Mr. Keiji Yotsuya, Mrs. Isao Yamaoka, Mr. Fred Tadao Nakashima, Mrs. Yukiko Sorida, Mrs. Reiko Takeda, Mr. Kanekichi Shimoide, Reverend Sentoku Maeda, Mr. Lester Teramoto, Mr. Risuke Ono, Mrs. Mari Teramoto, Mrs. Masumi Ono, Mr. Itaro Nakamura, Mrs. Shizu Ninomiya, Mr. Toyotaro Okamoto, Mr. Keiichi Ito, Ms. Etsuko Kotake, Mr. Kiyoshi Ninomiya, Mrs. Amy Tanaka, Mrs. Suga Iwahashi, Mr. Hisato Shimai. That concludes the list of those members who have passed in the month of May. Thank you very much. You know, memorial services are really interesting in the fact that how many people here, when you hear somebody pass, use the initials RIP? Anybody? I guess there's nobody here, so I guess I have to answer myself. Oh, okay.
Rest in peace.
Okay, rest in peace. Now, how many people here think that's a good phrase? Now, take that RIP and think of it from a Jodo Shinshu perspective. 何もつかまないか nothing catches. Well, I'll tell you that the reason it came to be is that one of my former Dharma school students, somebody that I respect very much because he's gone way beyond where I am, Reverend Dr. Takashi Miyaji, whom you all know, I'm sure, because he was here for a while when his father was the resident minister. And I was listening to one of his podcasts, and what really hit me was he used the phrase, rest in power. Rest in power. And the thing that really resonated with me at that point is because rest in power felt so much better than rest in peace. Why? Well, I thought about that, and I can never put RIP. What I would used to write, on social media and things like this, I used to say rest well. I couldn't say rest in peace. I just simply put rest well. And one of the key reasons why I had this uneasy feeling about using rest in peace and why it never felt right is because I am a Jodo Shinshu Buddhist. Has anybody ever heard of Genso Eko? Military's transfer of coming and going. In other words, how many people here know, we always talk about the Pure Land, right? The Pure Land, right? The few people that I have here, please nod forward. Yeah, we have the Pure Land, and in our tradition, you go to the Pure Land really to encounter truth. And then you come back to this world to help others realize the same. So this is like, going and coming. So you go to the world, encounter, you come back, and you help. What's interesting is that in life, we have, in Shin life, we understand that when you go to the Pure Land, guess what? You don't go there for a vacation. The thing that has always impressed me about Joro Shinshu in our tradition is the fact that even after death, you have useful purpose. Useful purpose. All the individuals that I just read off name-wise have contributed to who we are today in one way or the other. If you think back to it, when you're at a funeral service and you shed tears, why do you shed tears? Ask you, why do you shed tears? It's because the person that died, they are part of you. They touch you, and because of that, you cried. It's perfect evidence that they're still with you. Maybe not in body, but certainly in the causes and conditions that they've affected you with. When I say that, when I begin to talk about rest and power, think about it. We just had a memorial service for Kobe Bryant, right? The whole city went, oh, how sad. And it was sad. He was so young. But he affected so many lives. You go into our own tradition. How many people realize that when you die and you become a Buddha, all Buddhas are equal? Do you know that? No Buddha is any different than the other. No one is any higher or lesser. Then have you ever asked yourself, then why do we hold reverence to the Amida Buddha as opposed to the others? Ever ask yourself that? Well, when I was working at Honzan, at the main temple in Kyoto, somebody asked me that, and the answer that came out from me at that time was simply, the reason we hold reverence to the Amida Buddha is what he did before he became the Buddha. What he did before he became the Buddha. Everybody here, we do the Sambujo, right? And we do the Jusei, right? Do you know what those two things are? And where they come from? Yes? Well, actually, it should be in one of the regular service books, but what it is the Sambujo is prefaced to the 48 vows in the Daimuryoju Kyo, or the largest sutra. It is just before the 48 vows. And the Sambujo simply says this: thank you very much, Lokeshvara Raja, for mentoring me in setting a direction for me to become a Buddha. And so he makes the 48 vows. And then at the back end, you have the Jusei. And what the Jusei is, the Dharmakara, the great warehouse, the name of the Buddha, the Amida Buddha, before he, as a bodhisattva, before he became the Buddha. And it's his vow he vows to complete those vows. So that's why we hold reverence to the Amida Buddhas, because he created all the causes and conditions for us to one day become a Buddha. But once you become the Buddha, all Buddhas are the same. But in reverence to the causes and conditions that he created for us, we hold reverence to the Amida Buddha. Now, to get back to this rest in peace, I told you that you go to the Pure Land, you encounter truth, you become a Buddha, you can make your own Pure Land, and you don't stay there for a vacation. You come back for useful purpose to help others. You come back to this world of samsara. And you help all those. Now, how do you think they do that? In real terms, it's hard to explain if you want to use the scriptures, you want to say. But in real terms, personally, You see it already. You remember I asked you right now how these members that have passed have affected us? Remember? That's how they do it. They're still here. They haven't left. They're still with us. They're still affecting us. They're still having us continue. And even as you continue, they're affecting you, affecting others. And you begin to understand the interconnectivity of why it's so important to remember. You know, I'll tell you honestly, and this is kind of like a personal thing. And you know, people die, right? You know, inevitably we all have to die. But the first death that really affected me, that really wasn't part of my blood family, was one of my best friend's daughter died of an unknown illness. Died at the children's hospital. She was about 9 months old. They had no idea what it was. In fact, what happened is that when my friend, you know, their daughter, she had a fever on a Wednesday. They took her to the hospital. Not, you know, babies get fevers. So they took her and they weren't that concerned. But by Friday, she took it real bad. And by Saturday, she was dead. And when they found out, her whole body was really, I don't know how to say it, but it was like black and blue all over. It's like her blood vessel just, you know, burst. I was one of the pallbearers. For the life of me, outside of my bachan, who was the first one to die before that time, I shed tears. Only 9 months old. I didn't really know her that well. I didn't know Lisa that well, but it affected me. You don't know what it's like to carry that little small coffin. It affected me. And it still affected me because here it is, how many years later? This is over 40 years ago. It still affects me. It tempers who I am. And if you think about all the people that are here, how they temper us, temper this temple, then you begin to understand the gratitude of the Amida Buddha. The Amida Buddha is really the person that makes all this thing possible for us. Creating the causes and conditions. We all have to die. But what the Amida Buddha does first is creates a settlement, a settled heart, a heart where you don't have to worry about what's going to happen, so that frees you to live. This is liberation in Joro Shinshu. When you don't have to worry about something, you can live. Do you ever think about that? Most other religions, what do? They worry about what's going to happen when they die. You know, if you have the realization that everything's going to be fine and not worry about it, because you know the Amida Buddha's got your back, then you can fully live your life. Go forward in life and take responsibility. When I say rest in power, I'm talking about these causes and conditions that have already been created for us. These causes and conditions that allow us to go forward in life freely, liberated, to enjoy our life without fear. Realizing that life is a process, that we're all interconnected. Once you make this realization, the words Namo Amida Butsu comes out naturally in gratitude to the Amida Buddha. This realization of settlement, this realization of being settled in what will happen. All these people that we've talked about, all these people that were listed, even Kobe Bryant, it doesn't just stop with those people that are avowed Buddhists. These are all people throughout the 10 directions, the universe. So when you hear of a person die that you know, or even that you don't know, I just, on social media, I just put my hands together in a Kansho emoji, and I just put that there because there's nothing more to say. I have no words, especially if I don't know them. But in my heart, I realize that we're all connected. I realize that the causes and conditions for that person to post it is part of that power that I talk about. In Jodo Shinshu, we don't go to the Pure Land to take a vacation. We don't go there to rest. We go there to come back in power, to help others realize that which we have. So in closing, I would like to thank all the names of the people that I just read. And one of the key reasons is, it was because of them that I'm able to encounter you today. Thank you very much. And we go to the next the next part of the service. Oh, okay. Excuse me. Introduce the church. I'm sorry, I'm new at this. Where's anyway, with the good morning, welcome to. Okay, at this time, I'd like to turn it over to the chairman. And it says that you're supposed to wait. So let me. Chairman?
Good morning and welcome to this morning's service, which also serves as our monthly Tsuki Tsuito Hoyo service, where we remember our members and families who have passed away during the month of May. We are Leslie Fukuji Nakahara and Barbara Fukuji, and we'll be the chairpersons for this morning. We will now do the golden chain. I am a link in Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu. Our Gatha this morning will be I Love the Story.
Reverend Ray will now lead us in the reading of the three treasures.
Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One, now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be free from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I put my faith in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of thy way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves thy supreme will. I put my faith in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of thy doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I put my faith in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in thy life of harmony and a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Next, we will recite the 6 Paramitas.
六原三つ、御仏様の御心に立ち返らさせていただいて、一つ、今日一日清らかな眼と温かい情け、つつましやかな態度で暮らしましょう。一つ、今日一日腹を立てますまい。一つ、今日一日不平不足嘘をもしますまい。一つ、今日一日私の仕事に全身全力を挙げて尽くさせていただきましょう。一つ、今日一日夜昼常に私を守らせたもを御仏のご恩を喜ばさせていただきましょう。一つ、今日一日南無阿弥陀仏を唱えさせていただきましょう。6 Paramitas. Turning to our thoughts to Lord Buddha. Let us throughout the day live with clear eyes, warm hearts, and humble attitude. Let us throughout the day not become angry. Let us throughout the day not utter words of discontent, dissatisfaction, and untruth. Let us throughout the day do our daily work with all our power. Let us throughout the day rejoice in love and compassion of our Lord Buddha, who is constantly watching over us day and night. Let us throughout the day repeat the holy name, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Are there any announcements? Please unmute yourself.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Just a few things today. So first, we want to thank Reverend Ray Fukumoto for coming today and filling in for Reverend Corey. So I'm sure we'll see more of you in the future too, but thank you very much. And we haven't done this in a while. So thank you to our AV crew today. So that's Kerry Tokirio and Ron G, and our organist Judy Hopfield. And hopefully soon enough we'll all be back together in person. So stay tuned. We'll have some announcements on that real soon. I think we're going to start the transition in June. So we'll start inviting some people back. And then let's see, thank you to all of you who participated in the Kenny's Hawaiian Royal fundraiser last weekend. It was very successful again. I hope you enjoyed the food. And we served about 1,100 plates over the weekend. So it was again very successful. So thank you very much. More to come on that. Next weekend is Memorial Day. So we have a few things going on. If you would like to have a private family gravesite service for one of your loved ones, please contact Reverend Corey sooner than later if you can. On Sunday morning, we'll start at Green Hills. And then in the afternoon, we'll be at Evergreen. And then on Monday, starting at 9 a.m., we have the Bay Cities Joint Memorial Day service. That's the service that we do with the three West LA churches and temples, and then the Venice Free Methodist and our temple, along with the West LA and Venice Japanese Community Centers. That'll be at Woodlawn Cemetery by the Japanese Memorial Marker. So it's the 62nd service, I think it is. We missed last year because of COVID. The speakers will be there on site, and we invite everyone else to join by Zoom. And then at so right after that, anyone who has loved ones in Woodlawn Cemetery, Reverend Corey will make appointments to do a gravesite service for you. And then at 1 o'clock, we have our No Kotsudo service here at the temple. It'll be the same Zoom link, but you can attend by Zoom. But we will have the memorial for the loved ones that are in our No Kotsudo here. And then at about 3 o'clock, if you have the loved one at Inglewood Cemetery, we'll be going there to do the private services. So contact Reverend Corey about that. And then looking forward, I just thought I'd give a teaser on Obon. The mailing should be coming to you this week. And it's very important because it has the opportunity drawing tickets in it. So we hope you'll either buy some or help us sell some to your friends and family. And we've restored the prizes. The top prizes will be to this like they were usual. So $1,000 for first prize, and then it's $500 and $300. And then we have some other gifts that we'll be drawing too. And then there'll be an announcement for our silent auction, which again, we'll have a bunch of real fun things to have. If you have something to donate, it's new stuff now. Please, we're welcome. And it'll be online, so we'll let Tommy Nakagiri or Aya Masada, when it's up and ready, tell you about that so you can look at it. We also have Obon sponsorship opportunities. The flyer will be included in your mailer. You can go on the Give Butter Obon site to do it, or you can just mail it in. And then we have the marketplace. So we are taking orders. Dustin Noriyuki made a very special design for us this year. So we're doing t-shirts for adults and children. It's a really nice design, and you'll see it in the mailer. And we're also doing tote bags. So you can also get your tote bags to match your t-shirts. And then we'll still be selling other things like the dancer and training t-shirts and the vaccination card holders. I only mentioned that so if you have not yet received one and you receive your delivery bag, don't buy it because it's going to be coming in the June bag. So you will get one. And anyone else too, members that come by, Reverend Corey will be happy to give one to you. So, but we still have some extra that we'll be selling. So, so take a look at that. That will also be online, but you'll get an order form in the same mailing. Also look forward to, unfortunately we won't have our Obon Festival in person again, but we have a lot of virtual activities coming, and hopefully nobody in the Dharma School will yell at me for teasing this, but they have some really exciting programs coming. So I think there's going to be one on designing the tenugui and one on making sushi out of Rice Krispie treats. And so those are things you can sign up. And then we're also going to be offering Bon Odori practice by recording. So you don't come in person, but you can go on YouTube and just watch it when you like. Don't know when it'll be ready, but that's the plan. And at some point during our Obon weekend, we will have a virtual Bon Odori. So you will have a chance to at least dance at home. So make a nice big space at home so you don't trip over your furniture or the dog or anything. But we'll have fun doing it virtually this one more time. So, okay. Okay, I said I was short, but that was kind of long, but I think that's it. So have a good week, everybody.
We will conclude this morning with the Gatha Sayonara and the reading of the Benediction. We surround all people and all forms of life with infinite love and compassion. Particularly do we send forth loving thoughts to those in suffering and sorrow, to all those who doubt and ignorance, and to those whose feet are standing close to the great changement we call death. We send forth oceans of wisdom, mercy, and love. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 namanda.
Thank you for attending this morning's service. You can now unmute yourself and visit.